I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. Lately, I've been hearing the same question from clients and readers alike. Is Social Security even going to be there in 5 years? Fueling this concern is a recent viral comment from Elon Musk, who told Joe Rogan on his podcast that Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. That quote has been repeated in every corner of the internet, stirring up a lot of uncertainty and fear. Now let's get one thing right. Elon Musk is a genius, but his brilliance in technology and innovation doesn't automatically translate into expertise in public policy. When it comes to Social Security, he's just outside his lane. Calling it a Ponzi scheme may make for a great soundbite, but it's a fundamental mischaracterization. Social Security is not a Ponzi scheme, not even close. A Ponzi scheme is a form of financial fraud that lures investors with the promise of high returns. Instead of earning those returns through legitimate investments, the scheme pays earlier investors using money from newer ones. Eventually, the model collapses when there aren't enough new participants to keep the scheme going. That leaves most people with significant losses. This is what happened to those who trusted Bernie Madoff, who is operator of one of the worst Ponzi schemes in history. Ponzi schemes are illegal, deceptive, and they're doomed from the start. Social Security, in contrast, is a government-run, pay-as-you-go tax program. It's fully transparent. You know exactly where your money's going. The payroll taxes you and your employer pay are used to provide income to today's retirees, people with disabilities, and surviving families or family members of deceased workers. This isn't a con. It's a social contract. So why is there so much confusion? Well, part of the issue is that Social Security does, on the surface, resemble the flow of a Ponzi scheme. Money coming in from the young that goes out to support the old. But similarity in structure doesn't make it fraudulent. The program does not promise high returns. It promises a modest, inflation-adjusted benefit to support people as they age. Social Security does, however, face challenges. The trust fund reserves, which were built up during years when the payroll taxes exceeded payouts, are projected to run dry around 2033. Now, if Congress does nothing, benefits will need to be cut by about 20%. That's serious, but it's a solvency issue, not a scam. And the important thing to remember is that the solvency issue is fixable. There are numerous bipartisan proposals to shore up the system for the long term, from raising the payroll tax cap to gradually adjusting benefits. These aren't radical ideas. They're common sense repairs. Heck, a bipartisan mix of 100 CFPs in a room could work out a solution in 2 days. This is not rocket science. So when clients ask me if the system will be around in 5 years, what they're really asking me is, can I trust it? Can I trust the government? Can I trust my years of work and tax payments that they'll mean something in retirement? These aren't just policy questions, they're emotional questions based on the fear of scarcity and a desire for security. When someone with Elon Musk's influence wrongly calls Social Security a Ponzi scheme, his attention-grabbing soundbite shakes the emotional foundation of that trust. So if we're serious about preserving Social Security, let's start calling it by what it is. A commitment to our elders, a tax-supported promise to care for one another across generations. Let's be clear. Social Security is not a fraud. It's a shared responsibility based on the kind of society we want and woven into the fabric of American life. Yes, it needs some adjustments, but it's not broken. Rather than eroding public trust with misleading comparisons, we should really be focusing on debating public policy and how we can strengthen and sustain the program for future generations. Thanks for listening.